Good morning everyone. This is Steve Warden from XLRI Jamshedpur, India. First of all, I'd like to thank you for providing us with this wonderful opportunity. I'm Mehak Begum and this is my team Megha, Japsavin and Anthony. The case is regarding a sidewall division of a company. This division manufactures the sidewalls for aeroplanes and supplies it to large OEM manufacturers. So first of all, I'd like to take you to the executive summary of our case study. In this case study, we have identified various problems such as MRP, huge inventory pileups, etc. And we have also suggested some such techniques such as implementation of ERP, line balancing to increase the output to achieve the maximum production, using just-in-time techniques to reduce the inventory, using customer profiling, and also the quality control techniques. Now I'd like to discuss in depth the various problems faced by this division. The major problem is the MRP, which is 20 years old and hasn't been updated since then. This MRP leads to unreasonable and unnecessary lead times in the production. Moreover, the inventory, intermediate inventory is not tracked properly. The inventory present in the adjacent warehouse is not tracked, for example in this case. The quality issues. Nearly 5% of the production is being scrapped because of the defects. Most of the defects can be attributed to the trimming and drilling process. The line is also not balanced because of the various capacity difference between various subprocesses. The bottleneck keeps on changing because the same skilled workforce works on one process and moves to the next, which leads to huge inventory pileup. Next. This is the process flow diagram of the division. The processes are layup, curing, bonding, trimming and drilling, final assembly and final testing. In this, the trimming and drilling operation and the final assembly is being performed by the same skilled workforce interchangeably. So this leads to huge inventory pileup in front of one of the activities. So we have also calculated the average capacity, the current production rate of this division, which amounts to be 55 panels per day. The main objective of the company, of the division, was to double the inventory turns. That means to reduce the inventory by half. So we have followed a three-pronged approach for this. The inventory must be reduced drastically across all processes. So for this we have to track the work in progress inventory properly. Next is employing JIT techniques. For this we have to reduce the transfer batch size. Like after one process, the panels have to be transferred to the next process to reduce the time between them. The raw materials also have to be ordered based on the lead times from the suppliers, keeping in mind the lead times from suppliers. The third one is the lead time. As we see in the next slides, in the upcoming slides, the lead time from the work we have done is 21 days compared to 100 days as earlier. So in our approach, we have seen that the lead time can be reduced to 1/5 of the current lead time. So I'd now like to invite Megha to take you further.
As per the case details, the production staff available to us is 225 people. With the realistic probabilities possible in a factory, we have taken the percentages of skilled labor from 5% to 30%. And for experienced labor, we have put a percentage of 10%. Depending on this, we have calculated the combinations for skilled labor, experienced labor, and unskilled labor. Next slide. We have also done resource allocation for the different processes. The first process is the layup process. Currently, we are able to produce 21 sidewalls per day. Currently, we are running 2 shifts. Because of that, our final production is limited to 42 sidewalls per day. If we increase the shifts to 3 days, we will be able to produce 63 sidewalls per day, and this can be easily accommodated by the rest of the stages with the current resources. Our next process is the bonding process. Currently, it's 39 sidewalls per day, and we are running 1 shift. If we increase the shifts to 2, we will be able to produce 78 sidewalls per day. In both of the processes, the manpower requirement is for operating processes and supervision. As per the analysis done in the earlier slide, any percentage greater than 10% for skilled labor, we be able to allocate it to all the 3 final processes. So for trim and drill process, we allocate a manpower of 5. It requires, per operator, we are able to get an output of 13 side walls. So with 5, we will be able to produce 65 units per day. For final assembly, we require 3.5 side panels per operator. So with 18, we will be able to produce 63. And for final testing, we require experienced labor. So with 13, we will be able to produce 65 side walls per day. According to this, we have calculated number of panel processed per hour. And as before the bonding process, we have a curing process which requires 24 hours. So anyway, our cycle time will not depend on that because the inventory has to be at the curing process for a whole day. For this, we calculate the cycle time, and for the last 3 processes, our cycle time comes out to be 7.62 minutes. We have drawn the Gantt chart for the ordering of the raw materials as well as processing at each stage. As the for bonding, we have the maximum lead time of 20 days for raw materials, so we order it on day 0. For layup, we order it on day 9. For layup, we order it on day 5. And for the last 3 processes, we order it on day 9. So, as per the Gantt chart, we have done it for bending, layup, curing, and for at the stage of bonding. As soon as one side panel is processed, we pass it on to the next stage. In this way, we are able to complete all the last 4 stages in a single day and even able to reduce the inventory significantly. Then we have calculated the inventory for the different stages. First is the layup. So for layup, the WIP inventory is 0 because it's the first one. And according to Gantt chart, we have come up that the safety stock available for layup for raw material is 2 days. For bonding, the previous process is the curing process. So our WIP inventory would vary from 0 to 63 in the course of the day. Depending on the time taken for bonding for a single side panel, the WIP inventory variation would be 0 to 40 for trim and drill, and similarly for final assembly and final testing, the maximum inventory would be 7 and 3 respectively during the day. And for the raw material, for the last 3 stages, we have a 1-day buffer stock. So we have come to the maximum production for each stage. From this, we can calculate that the expected output can be 63 side walls per day. From the Gantt chart, we have calculated the day the order for raw material should be placed and the lead time. I like to hand over the mic to Anthony now.
Moving on to the next issue, which is that of MRP. We would be updating the MRP with the updated lead times, which we had used in our solution. We will be integrating our MRP with the customer system to keep track of the changes that are taking place in the orders. We will also be updating the list of urgent and late orders, and the MRP system would automatically update the required delivery dates. The scheduling of the projects will be done according to the updated start dates in the system. As an added feature, we can use the past customer data to forecast the delivery dates in the MRP. We have used the sample MRP modeling in Excel. Since the annual demand of the company will be 500 projects, around 500 projects in a year, we have plotted 500 projects in the entire sheet. For this, we have allocated delivery dates in the whole year randomly, and then these have been chronologically arranged. Since the lead time we have calculated is 21 days as we have calculated, giving time for weekends, we have calculated the final lead time as 5 weeks, and the start date by which the order should be started is calculated. Now we have introduced a new variable into the system of order status. If the order status is late, then we assign a value of -1 and the order will be started only 14 days later than the original date. If the order status is normal, then the value assigned will be 0 and the order will be started on the same date as the initial one. If the order status is urgent, we assign a value of 1 and the order will be started 14 days before the actual original state. So each of the order status now we have randomly assigned, but will actually be input by the customer at the customer end, and the number of days by which the order needs to be pushed forward or ahead can also be changed. Accordingly, the final delivery date and the final starting date will automatically get updated in the system. As a result of this, we can see that the actual order in which the projects need to be started changes. This will help us to serve all the orders better, eliminating the late and urgent orders completely, and also reduce the final inventory. Handing over to Japson.
We've also done a sample profiling for customers. We've taken 5 clients here, clients A, B, C, D and E, and this data has been randomly generated, but with the past data it can be updated according to the system. Let's take the example of client A. For project 1, the client A picked up the project later than the expected delivery date. For projects 2 and 3, the client picked up the projects at the scheduled delivery date. For project 4 again, the client picked it up later than the expected delivery date. And for project 5, he picked it up before the expected delivery date. Using this data, that is the past data, we calculate the average statuses of the previous projects and we repeat the process for each of the clients. Now, we have come up with 5 grades, that is variate, late, normal, very early and early. Fitting these averages into these ranges, we are able to segregate the clients into different grades. Therefore, clients A and C have a higher probability of picking the orders later than the expected delivery date. Clients B and D have a higher probability of picking up the orders at the expected delivery date. And client E has a higher probability of picking up the order at earlier than the expected delivery date. So what are the advantages of the project manager profiling? This helps us in scheduling our orders better, depending on the late and urgent projects. It also helps us in forecasting, which will help us anticipate the delivery dates in a better way. Apart from this, it will also help us to identify high-value customers who give us the highest profits, and this can also help Sidewall in increasing its profits. Moving on to safety stock. During the entire process, or for a given aircraft size, all the panels are identical up to the point of bonding. Bonding is the decoupling point in this process. The actual differentiation happens at the trim and drill process, from where on we have 9 configurations based on the positions of the drill holes. Therefore, in case we need to maintain a fixed amount of safety stock at the point of bonding for all the 4 aircraft sizes, so that at a later point during final inspection or at the OEM site, in case of defects, we can use parts from this safety stock to replace the defective parts. And this safety stock needs to be replenished on a need to be basis. I would now like to hand over the mic to Anthony.
Moving on to the last issue of quality control, we will be introducing an additional quality check after the trim and drill process. This would help us identify the defect at the point of generation itself and prevent the spillover of the defect into the next processes. These quality checks would be using inspection fixtures, and the inspection fixtures would be color coded for the 9 different configurations available. We would also be using a template to find the location of the holes to be drilled to improve the accuracy. For the defects that are occurring right now, we will be doing a Pareto analysis to identify the most commonly occurring defects. We will do a root cause analysis and accordingly use Poka-Yoke at the various steps or take the required corrective actions. As a long-term solutions to improve accuracy, we will be looking at investing in CNCs. For the defects occurring at the OEM site, we will be doing a detailed analysis of these defects so that they do not occur again, because the cost of these defects will be really high. We would also be looking at training of employees to improve the quality. We believe that the solutions we have provided here will help solve all the problems of Sidewall company. Thank you.